What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only barrier collector, and today I'm doing my 200th YouTube video. And what better way to celebrate that little milestone of mine but to bring you a very special game, and that is the Disney Afternoon Collection for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and for the PC. Now, this collection of games consists of 6 NES Capcom classics that came out way back in the NES era. And those games are Ducktales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Talespin, Darkwing Duck, Ducktales Part 2, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers Part 2. 6 games, 6 really cool games that they made into a collection of games and bring it to you into the system. Now, this particular set of games was made by Eclipse, and it came out back in April of 2017. They came out with this collection after they made the Mega Man a Legacy collection. They decided to make this one. What's interesting about this collective is that it also gives you like extra artwork. It gives you like save, like kind of like when you play in an emulator, it gives you like state saves as well as rewind features to make the games a little easier, because a lot of these games were actually really difficult to play. Now, for a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom away from the gameplay camera for a second. And the reason why I'm bringing you my big old mean mug is because I want to show you I have a couple of these games already for the NES. So basically, I'm not going to cover them as NES games because I'm already doing it right now. But first of all, the first game of the series is Ducktales. There we go. Ducktales for the NES, which came out in 1989. You basically play as Scrooge McDuck out to beat Glumgold and get all the treasure before he does. And of course, this was one of the very first games that was released from the Disney Afternoon Collective. For those of you that don't know, way back in the mid to late 80s, there used to be an afternoon show that had all these cartoons: Darkwing Duck, Ducktales, Talespin, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. But there's one other cartoon that was part of the block early on when it first started, and that's the Gummy Bears. Unfortunately, they never made a game based on the Gummy Bears, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I wonder how that could have been played, if it could have been a platformer. I don't know if, I didn't really do my research to see if there was ever a game that was going to be created for that. The next game that came out after DuckTales in 1990 was Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. Let me try to put the camera in here if you guys can see it. Now, this game came out back in 1990, and you basically have to find a little girl's lost kitten, as well as you uncover a plot from Fat Cat. Out to get the Power Rangers, get the Rescue Rangers. After that, they made, which I believe to be the least of my favorite of the collective, and that is Talespin for the NES. This one came out back in 1991, and basically it's a side-scrolling shooter. It's kind of awkward because I believe that you can go backwards and forward and backwards in the plane. But it's not really one of my favorite ones in the collection. But basically, you play as Baloo out and Cloud Kicker out to save Rebecca's business from Don Carnage. One of the interesting things about for example, I forgot to mention that DuckTales actually has a Game Boy game. I actually have it. Let me take it out of the case. And it's pretty much like a watered down version of the DuckTales game. Sorry if you can see that. And it's a watered down version of it. Talespin also has a Game Boy version of it. I never played it, but one of the interesting things is that the Talespin game. Sorry guys. The camera angle is kind of awkward for me. So one of the interesting things about the Talespin game is that for the Sega Genesis, they made a 2D side-scrolling platformer, which would have been great if they brought that out on the NES and they could have done something more creative with it. But they did a shooter, which is creative. They could have done a combo shooter with platforming, but they didn't, and yeah, not really one of my favorites. The next one that came out, which unfortunately I don't have the game for it, but there's a story behind that one, is Darkwing Duck for the NES. Now, Darkwing Duck came out in 1992, and you play as Darkwing Duck out to defeat the evil organization Fowl, which is kind of basically like from the cartoon series, which that one came later down in the Disney Afternoon cartoon series. That one came out a little later, and yeah, you play as Darkwing Duck. This is one of the funnest games to me. Darkwing Duck is one of the funnest games out of the whole collection. Now, the Game Boy version, I used to own both versions. The Game Boy version is also a game too expensive to own, as well as the NES version of it. Funny you should say, because early on when I first started collecting NES games a few years back, I actually found a copy of Darkwing Duck for like $15, but I got that one for my friend Gil the Coach, so he's sitting on something expensive with that game. So if you're listening, don't get rid of that one, because that one's an expensive game right now at this moment. And so it's become very hard to get. The next game of the series, which I don't have as the NES version, but I have it as the Game Boy version, is Ducktales Part 2. Basically this one for the NES. Now I have the Game Boy version. Sorry guys. There we go. If I can get a better, there we go. Now the Game Boy, the NES version of DuckTales Part 2 came out back in 1993, and basically you got to find the lost treasure of McDuck, of his ancestor, and he's trying to beat Glum Gold again to get it. And to me, it was, when I played it originally, when I played it a few weeks ago, you know, I played it before, but it's been a long time. It was a fun game nonetheless, a little bit more of a vamped up version of the original DuckTales. But, you know, I thought it was okay. I like part 1 better. Which, to mention, also DuckTales has of course, the DuckTales remaster that came out on the PlayStation 3. Basically what they did, they added 2 extra levels, and they revamped the original game. That game, if you guys have it, that game is super fun. Very fun game. One other thing, going back to the Darkwing Duck game, is that I just uncovered that they were going to make a part 2. They wanted to make a remaster, but it never happened. There's supposedly like some sort of a prototype that you can play out there. But Capcom was kind of like liking the idea, but at the end of the day, they decided not to make it, which would have been kind of similar to how they did DuckTales Remastered. But it didn't happen, unfortunately. Or maybe, you know, it's never too late. They're comparing, also another thing about DuckTales, sorry to be bouncing back and forth. They compare that one to like a Mega Man game, which is actually pretty fun. And then finally, we get to the creme of the crop, or how they say it, I can't say it. the very expensive and rare Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers Part 2. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy because that game is super rare. Well, I don't know how super rare, but it's rare. The game, as of right now, is a game too expensive to own, as well as DuckTales Part 2. But that one is the most expensive of the lot, and it could go for anywhere between a couple of $100s. Basically, same plot. You got to defeat Fat Cat. But they made this one more linear, rather than in Chip and Dale Part 1, you were able to select levels. In Part 2, you weren't quite able to do so. It's more of a linear game. But nonetheless, it's fun. But out of the whole lot, my favorite is Darkwing Duck. My least favorite is Talespin. But I'm about to zoom back. I'm going to do a little bit of a gameplay. I'm going to get, you know, I was thinking about how to make this video. I was going to make individual gameplays of each game from the NES. But because the Xbox One version is pretty much revamped NES games, you know, emulated, I'm going to just go ahead and do a little bit of gameplay, not to make the video run for so long. So that way, you know, you guys can enjoy it. But anyways, let me get back zoom back into the game. And yes, we will go ahead and play it. And I'll show you, I'll go between games. I'll go ahead and go and select each one from the year that it came out. The other thing is that this game is actually a pretty cheap game. I actually was looking into it online earlier today. and you can get a card of it, and it'll go for 7 to 14 bucks. It's not an expensive game to own, so do yourself a favor, you guys, and get this one. So anyways, let me go ahead and play a little bit. Enough talk. So we're going to go ahead and start with Ducktales. I'm going to go easy. So part of the thing for Ducktales, what you have to do, in order to beat the game, it has like 3 endings. The first one will be a bad ending, which gets you, that's if you don't collect enough money. The second one, the second ending will be an okay ending if you collect enough to make it to the end, because at the end, after you defeat all the levels, you'll make it to the final level, but you need to unlock it after you collect a certain amount of money. And that's what makes the game a little tough. I knew it. Wow, this game's tough. Anyways, to make a whole thing, let me go ahead and quit and play another game. So let me go ahead and do Chippendale. This one is a 1 or 2 player game, so if you play 2 players, I believe you can play 2 players at the same time. Another thing about this particular game is that I've seen other like little mini fake emulator game devices that have this game as well, so really interesting. Some of these, if you collect a certain amount of flowers or stars, you get lives. That's what it is. Shoot. For some reason, I don't know if my controller or the emulation in this game is kind of bad. It's just lagging. Gosh, I suck. Wow, the lag. Anyways, yeah, forget it. Let's go ahead and try a different game. Next one on the docket is okay. Talespin is gonna be wow. Okay, Talespin is gonna be hard for me. Knowledge. See, this is the thing I don't like about this one, is the direction of the controllers. You can... It's like one button's used to shoot, the other button is used to flip yourself over. And depending on the direction that you're going, see? This is what I don't like about this game. And then the ability that when you go down, you can't shoot. You shoot in different directions. Wow, when I needed it. Something. Oh, controller. It's lagging for some reason. Let's just keep going to the next one. Quit. Darkwing Duck. But I know I'm gonna screw up because for some reason right now, my controller is not responding very well to the whole control. So when I was shooting in the last game, I was tapping the button, but it was lagging, and I think it has to do with the fact that I'm recording right now. So anyways, let's find out. But anyways, which is this one? Get the one. Is it this one? Liquidator. No. Oh, let's just try it. Screw it. Okay. Wow. Wow. This controller. No. Oh my god. Okay. For some reason, the controller is lagging. Let me try again. Let's go here. Give this shot. Give this a shot. Wow. Laggy. Oh, there's a rewind feature, huh? There we go. And I'm only doing this because of the fact that the controls are being very laggy. Just want to make it to a little bit further in the level. And it's not really the game that's laggy. It's actually, I guess, something going on with what I'm recording. Maybe I don't have the right settings on the thing, so it's causing me to lag a lot. Oh, medikit. There we go. Very reminiscent to Mega Man. See, technically I would get here, drop down and shoot him. But for some reason this thing is lagging me. Or use the cape too. Anyways, let me quit and play the next one because we gotta get going with the stuff. Ducktales 2. Yeah, this one's a little this one's actually worse than the last Ducktales when I was playing. Let me see. Do easy. Let's do Niagara Falls. Wow. And then this one kind of does the same thing as the Darkwing Duck. You can actually hang from the things. Shoot. Shoot. Well, hold on. Rewind it. Forward jump 5 times. Did it freeze the water? That was weird. Interesting. Finally a boss. So forward jump 5 times. 1. There we go. Finally a level. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and select a different one. The final game, which is Chippendales Rescue Rangers 2. You could do that. Shoot. Do I go up or down? Okay. That's funny. There we go. Really? Thought it killed them. Shoot. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Zipper. What's his name? Zipper. Oh, thank you, sir. Uh-oh. Whoa. Come on, dude. Ah. Yeah, how many shots does this guy take? Ooh. Oof. Ha! That killed it. Well, another one stage clear. Okay. So, basically, I'm actually going to save the game on this one. Okay. So, basically, pretty much, let me just quit. So basically that's the game. Whoa, what am I doing? So basically that's the game in a nutshell. Pretty much all these collection of games. Unfortunately, for some reason, I guess the way that I'm recording is causing the game to kind of crap out, and the controls were lagging. But overall, when you play it in the system, the game works rather well. And yeah, for me to not be able to beat Darkwing Duck that one level I usually beat, you know, I can go without the rewind features and all that, but I did it just for the sake of showing you guys as much as I can of each game. But you know, technically I don't like doing that, but the games overall, they're pretty fun, and if you grew up in these cartoons like I did, you would have a lot of fun playing these. So anyways, overall, I highly suggest you guys get this one if you have a PS4 or a Xbox One. Unfortunately, the Switch has not seen this one, and I guess it has something to do with the way that Nintendo and Disney, they're kind of like some products they're not showing, or they're not able to show. I don't know. It's weird because I would have thought the Nintendo Switch would take advantage of this, especially, or have them in the NES library of games that you get if you get the subscription. But unfortunately, they don't. But anyways, this has been some gameplays of these awesome games. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun playing these games and going back because it's been a long time since I played them. But anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Eric the Bear Collector. Peace out.